Hello beautiful people, my name is Becca and welcome to my channel Soul Journey. You may also know me as Anu Ani, the expansion doula. And today I want to talk to you about something that has kind of come up for me subtly over the years, but kind of the thoughts were brought together in a way that I could actually put them into words. So if you like this video, please hit the like button and hit subscribe if you want to see more videos like this. I make videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And yeah, let's get on to the video.
The codes of light you carry inside anchor a new way of life. Heart-centered being, awareness and seeing. You are out on the leading.
So I wanted to talk about this idea of culture, and specifically racial culture, because I find as a very mixed white, as far as I know because I haven't done a DNA test, American woman, I find that I feel like I don't really have any culture, right? My country is, a little over 200 years old-ish. Any culture that I might resonate with when it comes to what I think I am, I believe I'm Italian, Polish, German, Irish, English, whatever, a mix of those things. I think I recently just found out I'm a little Jewish because of my mom's side. I have no idea. I don't really resonate with any of those cultures because I have no connection to them. I wasn't, none of those pieces were big enough to have it really make an impact on my life. And so I feel like, I look at Native American culture, I look at, certain Hispanic cultures, I look at African culture, I look at all of these things, Hawaiian culture, all of these, especially indigenous people, and they have this deep-rooted connection to their ancestors. And I don't have that. And I think that's probably why a lot of young white people, and I'm going out on a limb here, tend to fall into this problem of cultural appropriation, right? Because we don't have anything to have as our own. So we go out and seek out what feels good to us. And, some people are doing it very unaware, but a lot of us are doing it very aware. Like, I wear an om, I explore different cultures, I wear different things because I have explored the culture and it resonates with me. And I think that is because there's a lack of my own. And I feel like I am missing out on something. I kind of wish to go to Europe one day and explore those deep cultural roots of where I am from. Go to Italy, go to these places. But even when I look into those past cultures, I don't feel a connection. I don't feel like I want to go and explore European old, because I don't feel they resonate with the type of person I am. I'm very spiritual. Maybe the witch culture in Europe a little bit, but even that Celtic kind of, it does not resonate for me. And so I was thinking about that and how that's kind of sad, because someone like me gets kind of stuck between a rock and a hard place, right? I want to connect to my ancestors. I want to connect to beautiful culture that's connected to the earth and sacred, but I don't really have much of a line to that, even with my ancestors, because a lot of them tended to be, that kind of European, let's take over the world, kind of disconnect from the planet sort of people. So I was thinking about this concept and, how it saddened me, because I was watching this documentary on Native American people right now. They survived horrible genocide, and they're reconnecting back into their culture, and they have these beautiful outfits and they have these beautiful traditions, and their culture is sacred to them. And I was just like, I wish I had that. But the problem with being someone like me is if I go and pursue, say, that culture, even if it resonated with me, I get told I'm culturally appropriating. And even though I'm just trying to seek out something that feels good and something that resonates with my soul. And so, and then I think, okay, what else resonates with me? And the closest thing I can get is elven culture, right? When I look at, the ethereal realm, that really resonates. And then also, my all-time favorite movie on a very soul level, it's not oh, it's just a cool movie. Avatar, it's so hard to explain. But if you know my channel and where my soul stems from, who I am on a cosmic level, the planet of Pandora and the Na'vi culture feels so much like home. I remember being in a theater crying because I just had this deep, deep connection. And this could also be connections to past lives. I very much resonate with the fact that in past lives, I was in these more native cultures. I was more connected to the earth. So this body may not feel connected, but I feel like on a soul level, I've had these connections before, right? But I remember looking at the Na'vi and these, like, even the way they are depicted feels very home-based for me. And I remember talking to my best friend Marielle, who at the time was still Christian. I think I might have even been Christian still at that point. And I remember feeling like, so mind you, this was before I ever explored any of these things. And I just remember being like, that's home. I want that. That feels so good to me. This body doesn't feel normal to me. Like that body resonates more as like a home base. And I remember my best friend Marielle saying the same thing. She's like, I came out of Avatar crying and wanting to be home. And when I went to Pandora at Disney World, you know, it was a fabrication. It wasn't quite right, but I remember feeling like, oh, like this somehow feels more accurate. And so it kind of made me realize, you know, there's this growing group of star children on the planet and beings who really resonate with not even being from Earth. And it kind of made me start thinking, you know, we have this mission to shift the planet into a different level of consciousness, a different way of being, different social structures, different ways of working together. And I was thinking, maybe instead of exploring old cultures on this planet, why not bring ours from other realms and other planets here? Because that is our ancestral lineage. You know, why don't I explore the concept of maybe the ancestors I most connect with aren't my human ones? What is it in those cultures that resonates, and maybe I need to bring that into my physical world and culture and clothing and traditions. And so it kind of made me start thinking about, you know, my vision for the future. I've had a vision literally since day one, the first day I opened up to my spiritual journey and I was told about crystals and things like that. I literally had a vision of what I was supposed to build on this planet. And that is a long-term goal, and I'm sure if I continue this channel far in the future, you guys will see the creation of that. But why am I trying to take cultures from a planet that feel good to me but aren't necessarily mine? Because that's like the real difficult piece, right? I look at Native American culture and go, wow, that's so beautiful, I'd love to experience that, but it doesn't necessarily resonate as mine. It doesn't resonate as, oh, like, I just want to explore. Some people, you know, having really intense past lives, they go, yeah, this isn't my culture right now, but I know I've had so many past lives there that it would just 100% resonate to be a part of a Native American culture, or maybe it's African culture, or whatever that is. European culture. People have these connections, but I really don't. I recognize the sacredness of those cultures. I understand that they feel closer to home than what I have now, but it's not necessarily, again, that home base. And I think in some ways I'm trying to recreate what feels like home base to me by taking little things from different places and you know, having a conglomeration of those and going, okay, this feels most like what feels like a home vibration to me, a home tradition to me. And then I do a lot of my own stuff, right? Like, you know, when it comes to my spiritual practice, you know, I do some witchcraft, I do herbalism, I do, you know, work with many different gods, I work with different dimensions, I channel, I work with extraterrestrials and spirit beings, and, you know, I come up with my own rituals, and I do tarot, and I you know, I've brought all of these things together, and it does feel a little piecemealed, which is totally okay, but it doesn't necessarily feel like a cohesive thing unless I realize that I can create my own new culture, that it doesn't have to be from different pieces. What about creating my own? And so this was just kind of a thought that came up for me, and I don't know if anyone else feels this. I'm guessing that there are some people who watch me that could possibly feel this. But this idea of feeling like a little bit lost when it comes to where we come from and like who we are connected to. And I think that feels like that going back is because we don't have an intense connection on a soul level to this planet. Yes, the DNA might be there. Yes, we may have had lives, and some of us may feel that way. But I know for me, I've only been on the planet a handful of times. And so as much as these cultures seem exciting and new, like not a lot really resonates. I think the thing that resonates most closely is the Egyptian culture. But know that, outside of the culturally accepted what Egypt was, for a lot of us who have really explored deeper aspects of that and go into a lot more of that, we understand that they were on a higher consciousness level. They created things that we can't even create today. They were in contact with extraterrestrials. And so maybe that's why it feels more home-based, because it actually was more in line with what I am used to on a soul level. And there are a few human lives that resonate, and then also the ethereal world, the elven world, and that's cosmic in its own way, and it's on a different spiritual level, so of course it's going to feel more home-based than a 3D body, 3D culture, especially one that's so polarized right now. So anyway, I was just thinking about that, like, why don't we start channeling our own culture onto the planet? Why don't we start, and I think when I say that, I get reminded of what my guides have told me, is that is the point of why I'm here. I am channeling new things onto the planet. I'm working on creating a new language, a new calendar, a new culture, a new society. There are these things that are coming through me that I almost don't know what to do with until maybe today. Maybe this is the sign that I don't want to seek out other culture. I want to create my own. I want to create a whole new world and a whole new way of being, new traditions. And I realize, looking back on my life, I've done this my whole life. And, my friends and I, now getting to the age of where we might want to have a marriage type of ceremony, have family units, all these things, I'm realizing I'm coming to these awarenesses of how we want to create ceremonies for those that have nothing to do with old ways. I mean, for years, I always pictured I'm going to get married in a church in a big white dress and like all this stuff. And now that doesn't resonate with me at all. I don't even want to walk into a church, much less be married in a sacred union in one. And so I'm starting to explore, well, what would feel good as a ceremony? What traditions do I want to create that feel much more meaningful? And what are the ones that I want to keep that do resonate? How can I, bring those together and create a whole new tradition? And so I think as we explore that, we're going to feel a lot less lost and a lot less like we're searching, but rather creating. And I feel like that's a really exciting idea. So anyway, that's what I've been thinking about today. Definitely comment down below if you've had similar feelings. It's a brave new world, guys. We can continue on the path of what they've created, or we can create something new. And I think something new feels a lot better. At least it does to me. So, many blessings, you guys. Definitely comment down below if this resonates, and give my video a like, as it is very helpful, and hit subscribe if you want to see more videos like this in the future. And if you'd like to check out my other social media, the links to that are in the description down below. I have a Patreon where you can support my channel, and I have an Etsy shop where you can get personal readings from me or other magical spiritual journey tools on there. And yeah, check out my other social media, and maybe hit that notification bell, because the algorithm. Anyway, I am off to do my yoga for today, for my 30 days of yoga challenge, which I'm excited because next month I'm going to be doing a video documenting that process. So anyway, much love, you guys. Namaste. And don't forget, it is all about the soul journey.